hours, a retired St. Louis police captain named David Dorn, who is black. We saw him shot to death outside of a looted North City pawn shop in St. Louis. He's 77 years old. He was a retired St. Louis city captain. According to the Ethical Society of Police in St. Louis, Dorn was a retired St. Louis city captain, and they said he was murdered by looters at a pawn shop. He was the type of brother that would have given his life to save them if he had to. Violence is not the answer, whether it's a citizen or an officer. Apparently, he was murdered during the looting while exercising law enforcement training, according to St. Louis Police Chief John Hayden. The video is absolutely heartbreaking, of a family member standing over his body as the man dies on the sidewalk. But you wouldn't know David Dorn's name, really, except for a few media stories. We're going to have mass nationwide protests over George Floyd, because apparently the great threat to black Americans is the police. But this 77-year-old retired police captain, who is black, was murdered, and nobody's going to know David Dorn's name within 48 hours, because that's the way our media culture works in this country. Just as nobody knows the name of the federal officer, the black federal officer who was shot to death and murdered in cold blood in Oakland. Nobody's going to remember his name either, because it doesn't fit the narrative. The narrative is that black people in America are an existential threat because of white people in America, even though that is not true. It isn't true, and we're going to get to how not true that is in just 1 second. So President Trump, of course, tweeted about the officer who was shot, and he tweeted out a tribute to the officer, said, "Our highest respect to the family of David Dorn, a great police captain from St. Louis who was viciously shot and killed by despicable looters last night. We honor our police officers perhaps more than ever before. Thank you."